Hi everyone, Gerard here with San Rocco Corso. Today's video, why I don't use a shock collar, especially if I'm going to protection train that dog. Okay, so we have over here San Rocco Zeus. And San Rocco Zeus is 1.5 years old. San Rocco Zeus is a good example of what I'm talking about. This guy over here received protection training, not protection training, obedience training. And he's going to be here for a few months, boarding, while the owner gets ready to sell his house. So the point I want to make is, if you are going to protection train your Cane Corso, do not use a shock collar. Don't use a shock collar even if you're not going to protection train your Cane Corso. Something is going to come out of that dog if it's used irresponsibly. I'm talking about the shock collar. If you're going to use a shock collar, it should be in very rare circumstances. I had a good story once. There was a lady, she was from Florida. She was having some issues with her Cane Corso. The Cane Corso did go and bite someone. It was not a considerable wound. I mean, it's not like the person needed stitches, but it was a very close call. She was very nervous. Nobody in Florida would take this Cane Corso because it was 150 pounds. You know, the bite force on that dog, probably 650, 700 pounds per square inch. Crush. Very, very serious situation. So she went to 3 or 4 dog trainers in Florida. I forget the other states that she said. I think she said she tried South Carolina, North Carolina. Most of them just said, yeah, you know, we would love to help you, but it's too much of a risk. Okay, she finds me. I said, are you sure? You know, you're gonna make a 15-hour trip, and I'm not 100% sure I could take the dog. So I came up, and yes, indeed, the dog was vicious. I don't know what breeder she got this dog from, but the point being made is he needed to be saved. If he wasn't gonna be saved, he would have ended up hurting somebody or been euthanized. That's the fact. So I knew what was going to happen. All right, I've volunteered for the ASPCA when I lived in New York for a long time, and I would be very happy to try and rehabilitate a lot of these dogs that we use for fighting, and I had great success. And I was mentored by this older gentleman who was a retired police officer, and he really taught me a lot. He was also did military training. So my point is, she brought him up. All right, it only took me 3 days, and yes, I did use a shock collar, but I used it in a very controlled manner. I used it where I would tell the dog, no, I would be yelling, and then I would be shocking. And then yes, when he went to go growl, he was in the kennel, he went to go growl at my daughter and lunge as though he was gonna kill her. She was outside the kennel, of course. Then it was a no, zzz. All right? And after doing that a day, behavior tapered off. When we came down to the 3rd day, there was a certain way that it's done that was, again, told to me from this military gentleman. And eventually, I took out the shock, and then it was just followed with a no. It was done in a way that was very effective. And then following that, the next 1.5 weeks, or more than a 1.5 weeks, that was just really spent doing basic obedience training. Anyway, the dog is doing very well. I'm very happy to say. The dog is now 6 years old. He came to me when he was 2, doing excellent. And I had another instance too, a dog that came to me, and I believe that one took about 2 days as well. But what I'm getting at here is, this dog Zeus, I knew something was going on, because I had yelled no to my dogs in the back there, and he crouched down, you know? And I was working with him like 6 months ago, and he wasn't doing no crouching. In fact, he was so, like, you know, dominant and walking around like he ruled everything. And, you know, he was almost too dominant. He was you know, I was working with him for a little bit there, but the point is, now he's different. He has a little bit of fear in him. And then I asked the owner, and sure enough, it was a 2.5 week program where he was shocked. So he got the shocker. Okay, that's not the proper way to train a dog, at least a dog such as this one. So just a word of advice. As far as training, do not go to these programs that you see on the internet where they're showing you the dog walking around in Lowe's and it looks, oh yeah, it looks so well trained. And yes, it is well trained. If you got the crap shocked out of you, of course they're gonna listen, but there is also some side effects. Remember, this is a lot done in 2 weeks and it's a lot of pain. So therefore, that dog is not the same and he's not gonna be a good protection dog. Okay, he's gonna be a little fearful. If a stranger comes and yells no to the dog, what's he gonna do? Cower? And that's exactly what happened to this dog the other day. Unfortunately, the owner wanted us to do some protection work, and I just texted him the other day. I said, sorry, we can't give him protection work. It's just, it's not worth the time and the money, all right? So I saved him money. At the same time, right now at least, he can't do protection work. The person who I work with, who's been doing it for 20 years, has done it for the military police as well. He told the dog no, and he was supposed to be the bad guy. You know, he came out of nowhere with a stick, and the dog cowered. You know, just went down. Like as though, I'm sorry, sir, can't be protection trained. So remember, do not use a shock collar unless it is like a matter of life or death to rehabilitate this dog. And if you're doing the right thing from the beginning, you're not going to need a shock collar. You will not need a shock collar with a Cane Corso if you do the right thing from the beginning. All right? That's very, very rare. All right? And that's for people who don't show leadership, who are not doing the right thing. And I go over all of this before a puppy goes home. And I've done, if I count how many hours I've spent on the phone with people that didn't even get a puppy from me or a dog from me, my goodness, and they paid me 50 bucks an hour, I'd be a millionaire. But I don't mind doing it. But as many of you know, I did a video on this. I'm cutting down now. I love to help people. I love to help their dogs, but at the same time, there be days where I'd be spending 3 or 4 hours on the phone because someone emailed me off the internet, they saw a video, and I just can't do it. That's why I'm doing a video on this, so that, you know, I don't have to talk on the telephone. Then I feel guilty sometimes. But by all means, if you have a dog, any dog, doesn't have to be a Cane Corso, with a behavioral issue, and I'm talking about more of the aggressive side. You know, I deal with behavior issues. As an AKC, a good citizen, I also do therapy. I have the therapy evaluation. But really what I enjoy is taking an aggressive dog, one who's basically going to be condemned to death if he continues his behavior, and turning him around. That's what I like. So I hope this video helped. And again, if you're going to do the shock collar, there better be a good darn reason, and it has to be used properly. And I'm putting together a basic course, and I'm going to go over exactly how I use that. But for now, I hope this helps. Take care, everybody, and peace to you.
I just started it, so...
Buddy.